Discipline your children. This is a word that most parents hate to talk about, and it can touch a nerve. So, let's talk about how to get your children, your young children, to listen to you. And I am doing this video based on two perspectives. The perspective of an educator or teacher, which is my profession, and also as a mom of 5 children. So let's get to the video, guys. Good morning and welcome to my channel. It's Hazel from the Israelite Woman Homestead. Today we're talking about how to get your young children to listen to you. That's the video. So I cringe when I see people have young children and they're so, I don't want to say a bad word, but the child is so unruly, okay? And I can tell you many stories which I am not pleased about, and I feel embarrassed for the parents, okay? I'm doing this vlog, guys, and I'm in my garden. This is a vlog. I'm in my garden. I'm going to give you guys I'm going to give you guys a tour in another video. But going back to the video, it's just, I feel bad for those parents because I can see they're embarrassed. But as a parent, you have to set standards from since your child is young, so you wouldn't have that problem of your child misbehaving at all. Well, not at all, but I mean misbehaving and embarrassing you. So my first, oh, those mosquitoes out here. So my first story is I was at the butcher and I was buying meat, and this lady came with her little son, nicely dressed, and he had a iPad or something there, and he was standing there with his mother, and then there was a line, and she was standing there we were all in the line, and we were standing there for like 5 minutes, and that kid went up to he looks like a kid around maybe 7, okay, or a little bit younger. I'll give him 7 because he's a big kid. He was there playing on his iPad. We were there standing waiting for the meat, and I guess he was getting fed up. He didn't want to stand there and he wanted to go. So he went to his mom and said, "Oh mom, I want to go right now." Mom says, "Honey, we're buying meat, just wait a few more minutes, it's gonna be my turn and we will go." Well, that kid threw a very, very annoying tantrum. Now he was wearing a white and blue outfit, like a 3/4 pants down to his just underneath his knees, and he was so nicely dressed. He sat on the ground, rolled himself around, and started to scream, "I want to go right now, I want to go right now." And then his mother was so embarrassed, and then she came out of the line and picked him up, and he was dirty because the floor isn't clean, right? He was dirty all over. His nice white clothes was all ruined, and of course she had to leave the line and walk away and then lose her spot in line, and she wasn't able to purchase her meat. But these are the kind of behaviors that are, to me as a parent, is unacceptable. You know what I mean? And I hope she gave him a consequence for such a behavior, because I don't think this behavior is acceptable. And you can see she was very embarrassed because everybody was looking at her. And the thing about it is, where we were standing, there was a little bit of water there. So he just rolled himself in the water and he was just all completely dirty. So that was it for that poor woman. And I felt so bad for her. And then my second story is, I was at the train station, waiting for my mom. And then there was this lady with 3 kids. She had 3 small children. one baby in a stroller, another like toddler, maybe around 2 or 3 around my child's age, and then she had another child that was about 5. He's about 5 years old, and this boy decided to go up and down the escalator stairs. And she said to him, "Oh, stop going up and down the escalator stairs." A couple of people stopped and they said, "Ma'am, do not make the child go up and down the escalator step. He's dangerous." And she said, and I was standing right there with my mom, and a mosquito got me. And she said to him, "Oh, come off the stairs, come off the stairs." There is no like follow through. Like, she didn't go get his hand and bring him from the stairs and said, "Stand there," whatever they were doing, when she's waiting for somebody just like me. She didn't do that. That boy keep going up and down, that child, sorry, I shouldn't say boy, excuse me, keep going up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs. People were giving her the look and whatever. So I was standing there with my mom for over 5 minutes. All of a sudden, he went up the stairs, then he fell. And then his clothes got stuck in the escalator stairs. And he turned blue. And people didn't rush to help, right? Because I think people didn't realize what was happening, because I guess, you know, he got himself stuck. Then one young man had a knife. People said, well, the mother started yelling, and we know the child was getting blue because his clothes were stuck in the escalator stuff, and the escalator keep moving. And the part where we were at, there were no like technician in that area to go to the other end of the metro to get somebody to come. And she started screaming. Somebody said, "Call 911." And the child was just turning blue because the escalator stairs keep pulling his clothes, his t-shirt in. So anyways, a college student came and tried to cut his clothes apart, and in the meanwhile the mother was just there screaming and making all kind of noise, and people were just standing around and people were shaking their heads. And I guess this was not a good thing. That was a very bad thing that happened. But I mean, I felt so bad for the kid. And at first when I saw him in the stairs, I thought he was just fooling around again, until he started to scream and I realized he was getting blue. But I couldn't do anything because I know you had to cut his clothes apart, and I had nothing to cut his clothes apart or anything like that. So I was just like, you know, call 911 or something. But then another guy had a hard time calling 911. But anyways, this is the kinds of things that happens when a parent does not discipline the child. And I hope nothing happened to the kid, because he was totally blue. The guy cut his clothing, but he was so blue, and escalator keep pulling his clothes in, and he looked like if he had passed out. And by the time I was so freaked out, I couldn't watch, and I just ran up. I ran in another area where I couldn't see, because I just saying, "Oh my God, I don't want this kid to die," and I see him die. And then the ambulance came, obviously, and the technician had to stop the stairs, but the kid was unconscious. But anyways, I left with my mom because I just could not watch this story unfold, because I don't even know if the kid is alive or dead, because he turned completely blue and he was just not moving or breathing. So anyways, this is what happened, okay? And this is from a lack of discipline, from telling your child how to behave, right? So as a parent, as a teacher, as a mother, it is very important that you get your child to listen to you. Now, children that are under 5 years old, you need to give them specific instructions. Don't say, "Oh, sweetie, come here right now." Give a command. It's clear and precise, so a child knows exactly what is expected of him or her at the moment. Come here right now. When the child come to you, you go down to the child level, and then you do all your other explanations. Don't be telling, "Oh, baby, you know, You're gonna hurt yourself. Do you want to hurt yourself? Rubbish. Stop. Don't say that. The child has no concept of what you're talking about, or you're gonna hurt yourself. Yes, the child is gonna hurt himself, but his frontal lobe is not developed as yet to really understand the concept of what you're saying about he's gonna hurt himself and how badly he's gonna hurt himself. Like that little boy. His mom was saying to come down, but she didn't say come right now or go to take his hand. Okay, she was screaming and bawling after the kid is unconscious, got stuck in the escalator stairs. Okay? So she needed to say, come down from the escalator stairs right now. It is not a place to run. Come right now. Go get him and hold his hand and let him stand next to her by the stroller. That's what she had to do. She could have prevented herself from this great disaster that happened to her there. You know? And next thing is, if a child is jumping on something, stop jumping on the object right now. Come here now. This is a command. You need to give a child a command. Don't say, oh honey, don't jump on the thing. You want to fall? You want to hurt yourself? You want to get a boo-boo? No, don't say that at the moment. You're trying to protect the child from hurting themselves. So you need to give a straight command. Then the child understands, the child comes down. If the child doesn't come down, you says, I am going to come and get you right now. And you move your body and take that child down from where they are. Do not give children choices because they do not understand that they will hurt themselves. They just don't understand. They just cannot comprehend that they will hurt themselves. I'm outside, guys. There's so much mosquitoes. They just can't understand that they're going to hurt themselves. Another thing is, you need to go down to a child's level when you're talking to them for whatever it is. If you give a child something to do, you ask the child to draw or to do some kind of task or something, and the child refuses to do that, you go to the child and say, Sally, can you please sit down, take your colors, and color your picture? You tell the child to sit down, sit here, show her where to sit, take your coloring point, or pick the pencil up, here is your colors, and color. So the child has clear understanding of what you want her to do. Don't be all over the room shouting, saying, oh, Sally, didn't I tell you to color your pencil, get your things on color, pick your pencil up and color? Sally, boy, don't listen to me. Like, this is just like talking to the air. Honestly, children, you need to get the child's attention by coming to their face at their eye level so they can see you, they can understand, they can have eye contact. If you're talking to a child across the room, the child is definitely not going to listen to you. This is just how their little brain works. So you need to go to the child, get to the level of the child, and speak to the child in clear language, a clear command of what you want the child to, whatever task you want the child to perform. So that is exactly what you need to do. And children need consequence. If a child is not going to comply with you when you ask them to do things, you need to get a consequence. You're going to lose your iPad. You're going to lose playtime. You're going to lose reading time. You're going to lose something that you really love, because discipline is important. You need discipline in life. There's so much mosquitoes out here. You need discipline in life when you're going to become an adult. You're going to need to discipline yourself to get up in the morning to go to work. Discipline yourself to eat properly. Discipline yourself to take care of yourself, your body, your health. As a parent, you're going to need discipline to take care of your children. You're going to need discipline when you're at work to follow instructions that is given to you by your coworker or your boss or whatever. This is discipline, and discipline starts from when you're young, not from when you're old person. That's why we see so much things happening in society, because people didn't learn discipline when they were younger. Oh, they want a shoes right now. Their parents take them out, so they buy them a shoe. No, you don't get a shoe right now. You get a shoe because you earn a shoe, or because you need a pair of shoe. You don't get a shoe because you feel like it, or we have to stop these behaviors. We have to take these bad behaviors away, and in turn put good foundational behaviors, set good foundations and standards for our children, so that it will help them when they're young, and when they're older, it's going to be so much more better off for them, and it's going to make them be more well-rounded adults in society, because that's what society needs. We don't need you there as parents to be spoiling children, giving them whatever they want, children hurting themselves. I mean, those doctors that are in the hospital, they would really like to operate on people who need operation. Somebody who broke their leg, somebody who need their hands to be sewed back together. Okay, when you be careless as a parent and you don't discipline your child, and you have to take your child to the hospital, you're actually wasting this doctor's time. I'm telling you, the doctors are there to do things that are major. Okay, that's what we need those doctors for, not for minor things that you as a parent can prevent. Okay, so that is why I'm talking about discipline today. Now, I'm a mom of 5 children. My first 2 older children, when they were little, this is what I did. Me and my husband, when we're going somewhere, we say, we are going to the restaurant to eat today. Before we leave the house, we said, what is going to happen at the restaurant? I said to my son, do you want to take something to go to do you want to take your iPad, a coloring book or something? He says no. Okay, if you don't take your iPad, if you didn't take anything to do while you're waiting for food to come, then you don't have anything to do. You're going to just be staring. I make him understand that. Is that something that you want to do? No, Mom. I think I'm going to bring that time we had Nintendo. I'll bring my Nintendo game, or I'll bring out coloring. And I asked my daughter the same thing. No, then we go over what's going to happen at the restaurant. When you're at a restaurant, what do you do? And we talk about these things, what we do at the restaurant. We sit quietly, we don't make noise, we don't shout, we are very patient, we say please and thank you. We go over these things before we leave the house. Then I say, if we're at the restaurant and you decide to misbehave yourself in any form or shape, whatever, what's gonna happen when you get home? We are gonna have a consequence. And what consequence would it be? Oh, we don't know. Mommy's gonna pick the consequence. You need to make children understand that if they misbehave, if they don't follow rules, there will be a consequence. Okay? And that's what we did with our children. Now, our first 2 kids, they always get rewards. Like, we had the restaurant and waitresses will come to us and say, oh, your kids are so well behaved. They'll give them some coloring stuff or some whatever. After they get the thing, I would say, do you see what happens when you have good behavior? You are rewarded for good behavior. So I let my children understand that you get rewards when you exercise good behaviors, and they understood that. Now, our other 3 children, after the first 2, we did the very same thing. And now our last daughter, she's 3, just turned 3, and we do the same thing with her. Whenever she misbehaves, she has a consequence. She's a 3-year-old, she has a consequence. She hates going in her car seat. Her car seat is something that she hates going in. So the car seat comes inside the house, and she knows if she misbehaves, she goes and sits in her car seat for 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. And then we ask, why are you sitting in your car seat? Because I wasn't behaving. Not I wasn't behaving. What? You need to be specific. Okay? What was she doing? She likes to climb, take her little chair that she sits on. She likes to take the chair and go into the sink and open the tap and wash hands for a very long time. And then sometimes the sink overflow and water is all over the kitchen floor or upstairs in the bathroom or whatever. So you have to say, you are sitting in your in your chair for 5 minutes because you went upstairs, opened the tap, and washing your hands for a very long time, and you overflowed the sink, and there was water everywhere, and mommy had to clean that up. So you need to tell the child, why are they getting a consequence for their behavior, and why you discipline them. Why? Don't put a child in timeout or whatever discipline you're going to discipline your child, and then start quarreling with the child. Oh, you was a naughty girl. The child does not understand what you mean by a naughty girl. The child really doesn't really understand that. You need to be specific so the child understands. I stole candy from the jar when I was not supposed to take it. I didn't ask mommy or daddy or my brother for the candy, so I'm sitting in my chair for 3 minutes because I stole the candy. And if you take candy from the jar, you make mommy sad or you make your brother sad, and then you explain that to the child. So the child really understands. By telling a child, you are not to do that. What is the that? The child has no concept of the that you're talking about. You took the candy. Tell the child the precise word and the precise action or whatever the child did. Tell the child exactly what it is so the child understands the consequence or the punishment. This is how you discipline children properly so that you get a great outcome. You want a good outcome when you discipline a child. Now, discipline is not to shame a child. You should not shame a child when you are disciplining them, calling them names or saying stuff that is going to be degrading for a child. You always stick to the subject. Johnny, you hit Tom. You are on a timeout, or I have taken away your playtime for 10 minutes because you hit Tom and you hurt Tom. So this is the reason why 10 minutes is taken away from your playtime and you're standing here with me while the other children are playing. Or, Sally, you are going to bed at 7:30 because you refuse to eat your peas. That is the reason. If you eat your peas, then you would go to bed at 8 o'clock, as you usually do. Now, she understands right away. I didn't eat my peas. When I don't eat my peas, I'm going to get a consequence. And why do you need to eat your peas? Because it's healthy for you, it's nutritious, and we do not waste food. Simple like that. Now, you don't be quarreling with a child and say, I told you not to do that. Like, what is the that again? You know, you do what I tell you. Oh, the child really doesn't understand when you say, you do what I tell you. You did not eat your peas. This is the correct thing to say. So anyways, this is why I'm making a video about discipline and how to discipline and some tips and tricks. Some tips and some suggestions on discipline, because I can stand here and tell you many more horror stories of things that I see, whether it be at a restaurant, in my teaching career, just outside grocery shopping, and many things. And I'm going to tell you one last story before I close this video off. But I was at the grocery store, and I mean, this was a terrifying situation. I was at the grocery store and I was pulling out of the parking lot, and then these children were just running in the parking lot. And, you know, I wouldn't say I almost, right? If I was a person who drive fast or, you know, is not like paying so much attention, I could have definitely run over one of those kids, because the kids were running like around the lot, in and out of cars, and they were little, like they were 4 or 5 year old and with their mother. Now, I came out of my parking spot very slowly, and the mother was passing, and she was just nonchalantly not saying anything to the kids. And I'm saying to myself, has she lost her mind? This is a parking lot. Just a couple of months ago, we heard like one kid got killed in a parking lot not too far from where I live. And I'm saying, this woman, did she watch the news having her 3 children run around in the parking lot like that, where people are pulling out in their vehicle every minute? So I pulled my car down. That kid had just run across in the back of my car. When I was just pulling out, I slammed on my brake. So I calmed myself down, because I was about to yell, but I said, let me calm myself down, because yelling is not going to solve the situation, because I could have just hit him with my car, because he just ran behind my car when I was pulling out, and I didn't see him. Well, I saw him just in time, actually. So I pulled my window down, and she was walking by, and I said, excuse me, this is very dangerous, having the children running in the parking lot, right? And then she started yelling at me. She's like, oh, did you see you almost run over my kid? I'm saying to myself, this lady, something is wrong with her, because her duty is to hold on to her 3 children as she's going into the grocery store, not have them darting in and out of cars. And these children are young. I think one child looked like she's 4, one looked like 5, one looked like 6, and they were just playing, running in between cars. And this is the thing that gets me. You know, that's why I had to make this video. And she was just quarreling, and she still did not hold on to any of her children's hand. They were behind her after, still running, still dodging, still playing, and they went into the store. I was just sitting in my car, and I just had to watch them go into the store, because I was like, you know, let me take a breather before I just drive my car home, because I just couldn't imagine somebody behaving in such a manner when your child could have been run over. And so please, parents, I'm begging you, as a parent myself, as an educator, discipline is very, very important. The right way. I'm not making this video because I want to put down anybody, but it's because I care about children. I really genuinely care about children. Not because I love my children, but I love other people's children too, and I don't want to see any harm come to anybody's child, because as a mother, I can't imagine my own child getting hurt. So discipline is very important. You need to set the standards at home first, and then when you go out there, you wouldn't have these problems with your children or your child embarrassing you or hurting themselves or causing an accident like what almost happened to me. So this is why I'm making a video. And if you want any more tips, I have so much ways that I discipline my children. And you don't have to spank your child, okay? You don't have to spank your child to discipline them, right? And I'm not for spanking, neither I'm not against it. There's a time when it is a life and death situation, when a child have to get a little tap, because you have to, because this could have caused them to die, okay? So yes, sometimes you have to give your child a tap on the hand or on the bum or something like that. I don't have no problem with that, but there is a point to spanking. You shouldn't abuse your child. You know, that's the wrong thing here. But you can discipline in other ways besides spanking. There's many other ways you can discipline a child without having to spank them, okay? So I hope these tips were helpful to you. I hope you learned something from those stories, and I hope you take 1 or 2 tips and add it to your collection of things that you're already doing to get the discipline going, so that we all can live and survive and strive in this world, in the system that we're in, safely. So thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.